Hello, and welcome back to more Terraria with Brian. After our success killing off the Eater of Worlds in the last episode, I was thinking about coming over to the dungeon to fight Skeletron, who is the next boss over in this area. You may recall that in a previous episode I went to the far left end of the map and found the jungle. I think it's still always the case that one end of the map contains the jungle and the other end of the map contains the dungeon. So I came over to the far right edge of the map and I built a temporary house over here. If we talk to the old man at night, we could spawn the new boss, Skeletron, who fights you before you can enter the dungeon. And I actually did go ahead and construct another little battle arena up here, so I'd be ready to fight Skeletron, but I realized a few things. One is I forgot to bring the musket, which is still probably my best ranged weapon. And the other is I forgot to bring spiky balls, which are also really useful in the Skeletron battle. And without those things, even as well armored as I am, I don't think I would be able to defeat him. So I think we're going to put off this battle for a little bit. In the meantime, while I was coming over here off camera, I also did some more caving. And at some point, I got this Ancient Shadow Greaves from, I think, like killing a zombie or something. It was just like a random drop somewhere. And I also picked up a few of the things that were just at the entrance to the dungeon, but then the one other exciting thing I found was this thing, an enchanted sword that shoots an enchanted sword beam. It doesn't actually seem like it's a very good weapon, but it's kind of cool. So basically it goes and it like shoots a little sword like that. Hello, falling star, right at my door. But unfortunately, it seems like you can only, once it's, shooting, like you can't shoot it again for a certain amount of time, and it does use mana, and it doesn't seem like it's all that powerful. Definitely not as powerful as some of my other existing melee weapons. So I don't know that I'm actually going to use it that much, and I'm not even sure where I got this. I was doing some caving, and I just found this lying on the ground, and so I think it's the case that, something must have exploded and like opened a pot at some point, and this like came out of a chest, or I don't know if this was a random drop. I'm not sure where this enchanted sword came from at the end of the day. But in any case, I just wanted to show off what I've been doing off camera. We'll come back to the dungeon at some future point when I'm actually ready to fight. I'm going to transfer some inventory back home, and yeah, see if we can get some other weapons prepared to actually fight Skeletron in future episodes. One thing I forgot to mention is that while I was traveling to the to the dungeon on the right-hand side of the screen, I found another meteorite. Pretty sure there's still even a third one that I haven't found yet. But in any case, it's over at the end of one of these corruptions that I hadn't completely fully explored in the past. So if I need more meteorite, I know where to get it. Alright, I'm back over here in the corruption, and I would like to get myself some more shadow orbs, and I see one down here near our old boss battle arena. The shadow orbs usually contain some useful loot, and so that is the reason that I'm trying to head down here. And we'll see what this one contains, and then I may make some cuts and see, as I do a little bit more traveling around here, to see if we can find any more of these shadow orbs, get any more awesome loot. Oh, hello, Eater of Souls. Why don't you meet the, what is this thing called? Meteor Hamax. You too. Come back here. There we go. Alright, those guys are taking their sweet time getting over here, and then I forget, can I use this to break this thing? Yes! Staunch Musket. Ooh, plus 12% damage, plus 15% knockback. Alright, that's a good musket. So I'm glad I found that. That actually will be a, useful weapon against, what's his name? Skeletron, the next boss. Oh, look at this guy. It just started raining, and there's a zombie wearing what appears to be a raincoat. He was just labeled a zombie, and didn't seem like there was any special drop from him. But there's another raincoat zombie. I'm actually going to try fighting him as well and hope that he has some kind of special drop. Perhaps there is a raincoat as a vanity item? Would be my guess. Yeah, but he didn't drop anything either. And so I guess it does rain in the desert? Interesting. That was something I wasn't aware of. Hello, Raincoat Zombie. Would you like to drop something special? It doesn't seem like it. Alright, keep going. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've ever found a statue in the corruption before. A tree statue? I don't know that that statue does anything. But we like to find statues. They're fun little decoration items. What am I standing on there that's causing me damage? I'm not sure. Alright, well I found another shadow orb, and the over in the other corruption, screams echo around you. Wow! Shadow orb. Creates a magical shadow orb. Interesting. I don't know that you could ever obtain this as an item before. And it says magical. Does that mean it's some object that... Oh, it's kind of like the Orb of Light. In the older versions of Terraria I'm familiar with, there was some object called the Orb of Light that used mana and basically had a little light source that would follow you around. And so it seems like it's basically the same thing. Looks like there might be a cave down here. And so that's mildly useful. As I recall, it doesn't give off a ton of light. And so I'm actually going to see if I can dig my way into a cave system real quick where it'll be dark and just get a sense of how much light this little shadow orb does or doesn't give off. I didn't notice how much mana it used. Alright, so I guess it's better than nothing if you're just kind of like going into a dark area, so at least you can see something as opposed to nothing, but it's still nowhere near as good as torchlight, or I think there's a way you can brew shine potions. Really haven't done much potion brewing yet, something I'll have to look into. In any case, I'm going to look around for any other shadow orbs that might contain other loot. Alright, I'm currently in what is by far the deepest chasm I've ever found in this game. I need to go make myself another little breathing air hole down here. But basically, this went like really deep under the earth. I have no idea how far. I'm going to go ahead and take you with me as I get back out of here. Go ahead and put some light in here. Actually, I'll go ahead and open this up so I can walk over into this area. Some of the water might spill out into somewhere useful over here, too. Not sure if the water can escape anywhere too useful. Alright. Just wanted to get out of the cave so I'd be less confined, and it's also good to kill slimes whenever you see them. Alright, this is gonna... Actually, some of this water might pour out, and it'll be easy... Oh, hello! Found a devourer. Or I guess he found me. Alright, there he is. Ah! You were dead. And I hear... That's just a little giant worm. Alright, the water level has equalized. There is a shadow orb down here, and so let's go ahead and get that first. But then I'm going to take you with me on the journey back up just so you can see just how deep this crazy place is. While I have the Nightmare Pickaxe, it's still the case that using bombs is a quicker way to get through all this ebon stone to get down to the shadow orb. So my usual modus operandi is to dig a tiny little hole to make sure the bomb kind of like sits in the right location, and then just dump a bomb down here to do most of the mining for me. Alright, and that's good because more of this water will also stream out. But here is another shadow orb, and this time around we are gonna get... Whoa! Eater of Worlds has awoken. Oh, I forgot. Every time you break another 3 of them... Crap, crap, crap. Alright, I forgot about that. I am not in a good location to fight him. I need to go get a breath of fresh air. Alright, I have an air hole right over here. So let's do that before I drown to death. And now let's think about all the wrong things I've done in my life, all the bad choices I've ever made. So the good news is you can only take damage every so often, but I'm not even sure I can get back out of this area. Okay, I can. I would like to get back down. Alright, I need to get back to my air hole or else I'm going to be in real trouble here. Either that or just finish this guy off. This is a good weapon, alright. Well, this might not go as badly as I thought. Obviously, you prefer to be in a space where you are capable of moving around to fight a boss, but if you have superior armor and are killing a boss who drops lots of hearts along the way, I suppose you could just be stuck in a tiny little area and still fight him pretty effectively. Because look at this, I'm still alive and still kicking some butt of the Eater of Worlds. However, that's an important thing, so I guess every 3 shadow orbs you break, another Eater of Worlds will spawn, and I completely forgot about that when I was going after all these shadow orbs. So that's an important tip, but fortunately, yeah, he's a relatively easy boss, especially for the level of armor and weapons that I have at this point. Wow, that was still pretty scary though, that got my heart racing. Alright, so what was it we got? What is that? I don't even know when I got that. Blendomatic can be used to craft objects. That sounds very exciting. Armored Band of Star Power increases maximum mana by 20, plus 3 defense. That's probably actually better than my little 5% movement speed thingy, and so I will wear that. You saw my mana just went up to 220 now, and more importantly, it is armored, and so the plus 3 defense is the main reason that I'm choosing to wear that over the aglet right now, so that is pretty cool. That was a useful piece of loot, and yeah, I have no idea when I picked up that object, but that seems pretty cool. Alright, I originally said, and I haven't forgotten, that I was going to take you back up so you can see just how deep this chasm is, so are you ready? Here is the bottom of the chasm with where we found the shadow orb. Let me go ahead and get one more breath of fresh air. Great. And now, zoom. Zoom. Oh, crap. Come on, rocket boots. Zoom. All right, this gets me up to the level of the water. And then I can zoom up here through more of the chasm. And then I can zoom further up here through even more of the chasm. And then, for a change, I can zoom even further up here for more of this crazy chasm. And then, surprise, surprise, we are zooming even higher into the sky for more of this chasm. And it looks like, oh, nope, we're not at the top. Oh, here's another life heart. I don't really need them anymore. I've already got the maximum of 400. Here's more of the chasm. And you can hear the weather outside, and so you know we're actually approaching the real top of the chasm somewhere, but we're still not there. Here it is. So isn't that crazy deep? That is by far, by very, very far, the deepest chasm I've ever found in this game. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go back to exploring and I guess breaking some more shadow orbs, because even if an Eater of Worlds were to come, I feel pretty confident in my ability to live through the fight. So I'm going to break a few more of these, and I'll let you know what interesting things that I find. Oh! Interesting. Okay, so apparently, if you attack a demon altar, you can walk right past it, but if you actually attack it, it does damage to you. And it actually does a significant amount of damage. I wonder if the amount of damage that it deals is comparable to the amount of damage you're dealing it. I'm not really sure. But that is something, I think that might have always been in the game, and I've just never tried attacking a demon altar before, or I'd forgotten about it. I hope the bomb doesn't attack it as well. Alright, no, that's okay. Next shadow orb. Hurtful Ball of Hurt. Plus 13% damage. Alright. Next shadow orb. Forceful Musket. I think that's not as good. 15% knockback, yeah, as the Staunch Musket, which also gives damage. So yeah, they've got all these crazy adjectives that are basically kind of shorthand for the various little bonus modifiers that you get randomly on different weapons. Alright, another Eater of Worlds will come along as we... looks like got another Shadow Orb. There he is. For just a little bit of added safety. Actually, why don't I use the Vile Thorn on him this time? I don't know why I forgot about the Vile Thorn again last time. It's not a very powerful Vile Thorn. I believe it's a weak Vile Thorn. But it still does a ton of damage against this particular enemy. And I've got a lot of mana at this point. And this is a good way to just kind of like farm up some extra Demonite and Shadow Scales fighting this particular boss, and so he's a good boss to farm. Yeah, and once again, I'm so well armored, I can just tank him. He drops enough hearts that I'm never in danger of losing too much life. Look at all these dead body parts just lying around everywhere. Eater of Worlds has been defeated. Hooray! Ooh, Eater of Worlds trophy. Neat. And then at some point earlier, yeah, I killed an Eater of Souls, and he dropped an Eater of Souls banner. When I was walking over here, I killed a zombie Eskimo. Oops! I don't want to hit the demon altar, because I know it'll deal damage to me. And he dropped a zombie Eskimo banner. A meteorite has landed. All right, and we got another meteorite. There's some random stuff kind of stuck in the wall. Yeah, and so I guess there's various banners that I guess are just kind of decorative things. So part of the guy died in the wall there, and so those objects were kind of stuck in the wall, so I was just digging to get them. Yeah, and I managed to pick up 4 gold from killing all those guys too, so that's pretty awesome. But I think I got all the shadow orbs out of here. I was really hoping that I was going to find another Vilethorn that was not weak, with minus 20% knockback, and instead would be some kind of stronger version of the Vilethorn inside one of these shadow orbs when I broke it. But I didn't find one. We can always use the Goblin Tinkerer to reforge that particular weapon and hope to get something better, and so I might end up doing that. But now that we have a better musket, if I go and buy a bunch of musket balls, I could probably go ahead and try to take on the next boss, Skeletron, so perhaps I'll do that. In any case, I'm going to clean up some inventory and see you guys in a bit. Now that I'm home, I'm curious about the Blend-O-Matic, which I will plop down here in my bedroom, and can be used to, what did it say? Hold on, let me pick it back up. Used to craft objects, but what kind of objects? And what do I put in it? Like the Extractinator, I could put like dirt and or silt and slush in. This one, I'm not sure if it's a crafting station that you... I'm not sure what to do with this. I don't know if there's a way to talk to the guide to find out about it. I can't remember if we saw this on camera, but the party girl is another NPC who has joined my little family here, and it seems like she just sells silly things. Bubble Wand might be a little bit interesting. I did something I almost never do, which is I went to the wiki to find out what you can do with this thing, the Blend-O-Matic, and it turns out that there's only one thing that you can do with it, and that is this. Craft asphalt blocks that increase running speed out of stone blocks and gel. And so... I don't want to use up too much gel, because gel is a relatively precious resource, but I'm just going to craft, we'll say 10 of those guys. And let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll just try it right out here. Go ahead and chop down this tree. But I'm just going to put down these 10 asphalt blocks and see how fast I can run on top of them. See if it's something noticeable. It's going to be hard to tell with such a short kind of runway. What is that? Little red bird? Yeah, it is. Can I catch you? I can. Haha! Die, little red bird. Here's another bird. I'm too fast for all of you. You'll never get away. I'm also easily distracted. Alright, let me make some more asphalt and let's try the little running speed test. Alright, we are ready for the speed test. You can build up speed. Oh yeah, you do go fast on that. Wow. I mean, I go pretty fast once I get the rocket boosts going. But this really goes fast. Actually, let me take off the rocket boots. Okay, so here's normal walking speed. Oh wait, do I have 2 rocket boots? Oh, Hermes boots, right. Rocket boots. Hermes boots are the things that make you run fast. Okay. So here I am walking at normal speed. And here I am on the asphalt. Wow, it seems like I was even going, like, possibly still accelerating. So that's pretty amazing. And then if I put the boots back on, and I'm already, like, at rocket power speed, do I go even faster? Yeah, that's even faster. Ooh, Blood Moon, Corrupt Bunny, hello. Blood Moon... Yes, there's actually some farming I need to do. I want to see if I can go get some Death's Weed seeds. if I go over into the corruption. And so, I think I will go do that. Interesting, there's a frozen Eskimo here in the corruption, and he just came from this little area where I built the ice bridge. And so I imagine that the frozen Eskimo zombie guys can spawn anywhere that there's ice. Is something that never really occurred to me before. And wow, I guess I've not been in the corruption during a blood moon before, because there's a lot of bad guys around here. I'm glad to have all the armor that I do. Here we go. Deathweed and deathweed seeds, great. I don't know that I've talked much about it before, mostly because I haven't done much with plants and really not done much with potion brewing, even when I played Terraria before. But basically each plant, as I understand it, has a certain time. Here's another one. Deathweed and deathweed seeds. Normally, if you harvest the plant, you just get the plant, but then if you harvest it at a special time or in a special circumstance, you also get the seeds. And so, in the case of deathweed, you can only get the seeds during a blood moon. In the case of day bloom, you can only get the seeds during the day. Moon glow, you can only get the seeds at night. Water leaf, you can only get the seeds if the plant is submerged in water. And fire blossom, you can only get the seeds if the plant is submerged in lava. And I think, are those all the different kinds of plants, maybe? I think that might be it. So in any case, now I have some deathweed seeds, so I can actually plant my own deathweed in my little underground farm. And so that is cool. But I think this is a good place to finish things up for today, and so next time we will probably go fight Skeletron, I guess, and go try to start conquering the dungeon. Because I think that's the next things to do, kind of plot-wise, as the game moves forward. So, I hope that you guys are having a great day, as always, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.